We now want to cover the final stages before you're submitting your week 1 project. Currently, we have a big mess of nodes right here. I also want to point out that not only do I have the original geometry, I also have the extra credit proxy portion in here too. So we're going to talk about all of that. To begin with here though, is that we want to group all our elements together into like subcategories. For instance, I have all my pads which have my joints underneath them. And I'm going to group these together. I'm just going to hit Command G. And I'm going to call this my joint underscore group. Like that. Now we have our controls. Now our controls are all kind of contained in one area, which is great, but I still want to be able to work on this as a normal control, and I don't like parenting it by itself. So I am going to group this together. I'm going to make a subgroup called control group. Like that. Then finally, I'm going to group together all my geometry. So here we go. I'm going to hit Command G, and this is going to be my geometry group. Okay, so we got 3 nice subcategories, but I still, when I want to import this character in, I should still only have 1 node in my system. So if I grab all 3 of these and group these together additionally, and call this my rabbit world. This is a rabbit underscore world. This is my world node. It's very important to understand is I also have the word rabbit into it. That's going to be the name of the asset for the character. So that could change based upon different characters. Sometimes people just put like this a god node or main node, but the important thing is that you have 1 node that has everything underneath it. This is never going to be animated. Sometimes people call this the do not touch node, or they'll actually name it in that, so the animator doesn't accidentally touch or manipulate or animate this world node, because it'll cause all types of problems. The last thing I want to talk about is everything else is like named and set in here properly as we went along, but my poly surfaces in here, I want to name these. So this is going to be my my body, and I'm going to say underscore geo. This is his right eye, so I'm going to say right eye geo, and this is going to be his left eye geo. There we go. So that pretty much makes a nice clean hierarchy. Now like I repeat, the proxy geometry which is in here is not required for your final turn. And also sometimes if you're going to do the proxy and have the other one, you might want to hide the body. So I'm going to say Control H so I can select and move the character around like this. Okay, and the eyes will not move with the character because they're not connected. Okay, so that's the final cleanup. This guy's ready to be turned in.